All right, Ken Orange Day Trader back with another video on the Candle Range Theory Masters interviews with some master CRT traders. So let's get into it and meet the masters. So first off, we have Marcus the Scalper. Marcus says that he's 19. He flips small accounts. That's his specialty. It doesn't take much to make much in Forex, he says. His best run was taking $200 to $10,000. He says that he flips $200 accounts now because he can always start over. He didn't listen to anyone who told him he was crazy because he wanted to make his own lane. He can take a $200 account, compound it to like $1,000, and then break them down into five $200 accounts. Then he starts paying himself off the accounts when he has a profitable day. He has like 30 accounts, he says, with various brokers and each account, it looks like it has $100 to $200 in them. So he says it's nothing to blow an account. He's always got more. And he says he can clear at least $1,000 a week. It's nice to be able to make money on demand without a job. So he's a scalper and he has just multiple accounts with small amounts that he uses to scalp the market on a daily basis. So that's his MO. Joanne, the swing trader, she says that after her divorce, she wasn't going to let anything stop her from being successful. She heard about trading from a girlfriend from college. After she learned about CRT, she traded with a $10,000 demo account. When she saw the potential, she decided to do it for real, but didn't want to start small. So she says she did odd jobs, DoorDash, clean houses, sold stuff on Facebook Marketplace, and she saved up $10,000 over 2 years. The whole time she traded demo, so by the time she made the switch to live funds, it was a little scary. But when she got her first withdrawal for $1,000, she knew it was real, and the withdrawals are much larger now. And then lastly, we have Steve, the prop firm king. Steve says, long story short, his money was never an option. He says when he learned about prop firms, he figured why not? He could pay a few $100 for the chance to trade 10,000. Who wouldn't? Of course, he doesn't pass every challenge, but he's making more than he puts in, that's for sure. He always liked math, programming, coding, things like that. Trading is just the system, and I use the law of averages and probability theories to my advantage. Algorithmic thinking. My wife thinks I'm a robot, he says. I can fail 60 to 70% of my challenges and still make money. Not bad. So we're going to see some questions for the masters and see how they do things, how they conduct business, because we're all three different people. So the first question is, when you're looking for a candle 3 setup, what specific confirmation makes you pull the trigger without hesitation? Now, Marcus the Scalper says that he traced the 8-hour chart. As soon as he sees a valid candle 2 closing, he's starting to hop in. Joanne the Swing Trader says she looks for a daily candle 2 that makes the high or low of the week. Then she enters. She puts her stop loss below candle 2 and waits. And then Steve, the prop firm trader, says that he looks for a candle 2 on the daily or the 4-hour chart that makes the low or high of the day. Then he wants to see if candle 3 price action develops, and when it does, he starts to enter the trade. Next question is, what is the biggest mistake that traders make when entering candle 3 trades? Now, Marcus says he's not the best person to ask because if he has a good candle 2, as long as candle 2 holds, 3 comes after 2. But he'll cut a loss quickly if he sees something unexpected. Joanne, the swing trader, says she expecting a big mistake traders make is expecting a huge move every single time. Not all candle 3s are these huge monster candles. Steve, the prop firm king, says not giving the candle enough time to play out. Sometimes candle 3 takes hours to make the move, but when it does, you're either glad you stayed in or kicking yourself that you got out. The next question, what is your exact risk per trade when trading candle 3 setups, and how did you land on that number? Marcus says he risked 20 to 50%, and he landed on it because trading has to be worth it to him. He didn't start trading to make $10 here and $20 there. He has bills. Joanne says she risked 3 to 5%. She has a big enough account that makes it worth it. So getting 15% on my money is a good return. Steve says he risked 1 to 3%. It depends on the prop firm he's using, and he has to respect their loss limits. 2 to 3% of $100,000 a few times a week. You do the math. Now, the next question is, do you scale out of positions or go all in or all out, and why? Marcus says he does not scale in or out because he's a one-to-one trader, and his first position makes the whole trade worth it. Joanne takes 1 entry, and that's it. She has scaled in the past, but does not do it anymore currently. Steve says he does not scale in to respect consistency rules or the firms that he deals with. The next question is, how do you stay disciplined when you know you can take multiple trades per day? Marcus says he does take multiple trades a day, so he's not the best person to ask. I will say I only trade 1 candle 3, though. That's because a good candle 3 is going to give you multiple chances to make money, so why not scalp it until it's done? I'm compounding profits and making the day count. Joanne, the swing trader, I didn't get into trading to spend all day sitting at a computer. I love swing trading because it gives me my time back. I tried scalping and hated it. I make 1 trade and then I'm going back to take care of my son or do other things. I love doing photography. Steve says discipline led to my freedom. I never jeopardize a payout by thinking I can make quote unquote more 4% is enough because I have the money. More trading can cost you more than it makes you. Next question. If someone is struggling with candle range theory, what is the first thing you tell them to fix? Marcus the scalper would say, I don't know how that's possible because you're only looking for one candle, candle three. That's all you got to do. So if you're struggling, study past candle threes on the time frame you trade. They show up every day. Just ride the wave when one shows up. Joanne says, don't worry about CRT. Manage risk first. It's the easiest pattern in the world. Most people don't know how to manage risk effectively. They either trade too big or too small. Steve says, study, and study some more. Program your brain to know what you're looking for. And the next question, what is the one rule in your trading that you never break no matter what? Marcus says, never take a full stop loss. I put the stop far enough away to make sure I can get out early. Sometimes I still take a full stop out, but it's rare, like maybe once every 2 weeks. Joanne says, never exceed 5% risk on a trade. And Steve says, always set a take profit and a stop loss. Where exactly do you place your stop loss relative to the candle range, and how do you avoid getting stopped out by normal noise? Marcus says he uses a 20 pip stop loss and sometimes 15 if the pair isn't very volatile. Joanne says her stop loss goes below the low or above the high of the daily candle too. I still get stopped out, and sometimes my stops get pretty big, but I've learned to live with it. And Steve says he does a 1 to 2 risk to reward, so he put his stop loss below recent swing highs or swing lows on the 15-minute chart. Now, next question is, where's your point of invalidation on a CRT trade? Marcus says, I hate when the price goes back to below the open price of candle three. If it's a green 4-hour candle, I need it to stay green. If it's red, I need it to stay red. So he looks for the opening price of the candle as a barrier for a point of invalidation, possibly. Joanne says, if price breaks candle two, I lose. And Steve says he lets the stop loss do his job. Once he takes the trade, he's done all he can do. He doesn't micromanage. I'm either right or wrong. And this question says, do you combine CRT with other indicators like EMAs to confirm the direction of expansion? Marcus says he just uses fair value gaps. Joanne says naked charts are fine. She doesn't need indicators. And Steve uses the EMA, 50 EMA for trend. So some chart samples from the masters. This is a chart of Marcus the scalper. He trades the 5-minute chart using fair value gaps. So here's a couple trades and just a risk example. So on one of those multiple $200 accounts he has, he'll take one trade. He'll risk 150 out of it, which is very excessive. On a 1-to-1, so he'll risk 150 to make 150. And if he wins that one, which that one did play out and win, then his new account balance will be 350. And then in order to compound those profits, he'll take a $200 risk. So out of the $350 he now has in his account, he'll risk $200 on a 1-to-1 once again. And when he does that, he will have a $550 account once that trade hits. And he will withdraw $350 and then start back over with a $200 account. So when he says he makes $1,000 a week, or he can make $1,000 a week, that's how he's doing it, doing this pretty much on a daily basis. Joanne the swing trader. So while she didn't mention how many trades she takes a week, she did say that she swing trades the daily chart. So she'll look for a valid candle two that makes the low of the week, which was this candle right here. She'll enter as soon as the candle closes. So the entry right there is at the daily open price. She'll set her stop loss below the low of candle two. And then she goes for a 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio. She risks, what is this, 5%? Yeah, $500 risk. So she did a 1-to-2 on this one. So if she risked $500, she could make 1,000, and that's a 10% gain in about maybe a day or two. So, good for her. And then lastly, we have Steve, the prop king. He has a $100,000 prop account. So he uses the 50 EMA for trend. So obviously, when you're using EMAs, if price is below the 50, that means you think the trend is short. If it's above the 50, you think it's long, but here it's below, so it's short. So he looks for bearish CRT opportunities. He did get a candle 1, candle 2, and candle 3 right here on the daily. He risked 2% of his $10,000 prop account. He did a 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio, so he was risking 2% to make 4%. He has a 91 pip stop loss and a 183 pip take profit. And his result was he got a $4,000 profit, of course, before the profit split. But I mean, that's in a day. So he made $4,000 pre-split in one day. So, not bad. So everyone's journey is different. Okay. All of these traders are successful, but none of them do the exact same thing. They're trading in similar fashion, but again, they're not carbon copies of one another. So the question we have to ask ourselves is, what does trading success look like to you? And whatever it looks like to you, be it Marcus's journey, Joanne's journey, Steve's journey, or somebody else completely different, that's what you need to put your effort into pursuing and nothing else. Okay. Don't be distracted by any new shiny objects. That's what you need to be focusing on. How does your ideal trading scenario look? Does it look something like a scalper who has those multiple accounts, the swing trader, or the prop firm guy who's not even using his own money but prop accounts and taking challenges? You gotta pick your path, all right, and then pursue it relentlessly. So I appreciate you watching. Thanks for your time and attention. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and have a great rest of your day. Take care.